So after the video earlier on sales strategy and based on my actual cost and my actual quantity that I shared, I was thinking actually not everybody is able to get in at a cost. What I have, some of you may have gotten actually even cheaper than what I have, but many of you, especially if you've just started in the last few months, or if you don't stay in Singapore, the market situation is different. If you are somewhere else around the world, then the price that you're getting is probably closer to the market price that you can find, whether it's in eBay or TCG Play or something like that. So I was thinking maybe I should do another video based on current price. So you can see the tabs here, current. So I converted all the same kind of strategy, but now I just key in the current price based on pokedata.io. So it's probably close. Of course, the ME1, ME2 is not out yet, but at the moment, like the new sets, even the cheaper set in SV era, the Scarlet and Violet era, is Journey Together, and that's close to $200. So I will assume that probably is going to be somewhere there when they are released. In this series of video, I just want to lay out the disclaimer very clearly, because whatever you see here, it's my research, also my opinion, also my strategy, because I do not want to impose this on anybody, and I do not want viewers who is watching this to think that, oh, this is, the way to go and I should follow this person, and maybe, who knows, if it really went badly in the next few years and something bad happened to you, I do not want to be responsible for that. So I would just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. I have a job, but it's not a financial advisor job. So whatever I shared here is my opinion, and you shouldn't really take it as a financial advice. Do your own research. So let's say if you just buy everything like shown here based on today's price, whatever price that is you are watching the video is probably close to this, or maybe it goes up a little, goes down a little. But let's say if you couldn't get anything at MSRP and you're paying full market price, and this will be the cost. And if you are doing the same kind of strategy like I laid it out in my earlier video, let's say the first strategy, you sell 1/3 of it when they turn 3 years old, when they turn 4 years old, and when they turn 5 years old, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. This is the total you're going to get back. So of course, the cost that you pay is a lot higher than my previous video where I really got everything below MSRP. If you are paying a full market price, everything above MSRP, let's say you are paying about close to 40,000 USD, and in 6 years time you're going to get back, let's say the assumption is still the same, the box price is still similar to in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years kind of average, then you are probably getting close to about $61,000 back. And the ROI, it looks quite nice, you make $20,000 in 6 years, and the ROI is 46%. If you annualize it, that means just divide by 6. You get about 7.7% per year. And this is assuming that you're selling at about 85% market price. Pay attention to the number, because later on I'm going to share with you in a larger context if you compare to, the other investment vehicle, other ways you can invest your money, whether this makes sense or not, whether you should do this or not. And now let's see if we are doing again based on today's market price, and you are holding it and you're selling it only when they turn 4 years old. Same thing, 50% at the year 4 and the other half at 5th year. And you can see that of course the cost price is the same. Now the return is slightly higher, and annualized is about 10%, 10.6%. And if we include the assumption, the box price average, if we include Evolving Sky and Team Up, this one is without Team Up and Evolving Sky, so it's a little bit safer, a little bit more conservative assumption. And this is including Team Up and Evolving Skies, and return is slightly higher, about 15% in per year for the next 6 years. And if you are selling everything at 100% on the 5th year, so you buy them and you hold them until they turn 5 years old. So let's say example for Silver Tempest is in 2022 is when it's released, so 5 plus 5 years, so it will be on November of 2027. So you sell everything, then this is the return. So 89% in 6 years, so annualized per year about 14.84. And if you include Evolving Sky and Team Up in the average cost for the box, is slightly higher, so close to 20%. So the approach is the same, but of course the entry point, if you have missed the earlier entry, like last year, I actually could get everything under MSRP in Singapore. In somewhere else, it may be a little bit different, but I just want to show you what is the difference then, and also have a deeper conversation about this. So when we put them side by side, so this was my actual cost that I got in. So in a video earlier, would have seen it if I saw everything at, from the third year onwards, one third, and one third. The ROI analyzed, it will come up to 25%. If we go to the other extreme, if I only hold everything, don't sell anything until they turn 5 years old, it's close to 50%. But if you're only getting in based on the current market price, you couldn't find anything cheaper, then you can see that the number is very, very much different. Very, very different. So I kept emphasizing that the cost price is very, very important. The entry price is very, very important, especially for sets that are still in print, because yes, at the moment it seems like everything is expensive, but there will be a point of time where maybe not every single set, but some of these sets will actually really drop in price, whether it's because of supply issue or people start dumping them in a a downwards market, when the market really go very slow. And I think that is the best time to buy them, because if you are thinking about, even if you are thinking about keeping them long term, it doesn't make much sense holding boxes, especially current boxes, at a very high price, because you see, if you are just investing into the S&P, over the past century, S&P 500 has an annual return of close to 10%. If you just keep it there, you don't have to do anything. Over the many years, average annual return, which is the same as this annualized ROI, is close to 10%. So it actually, if you are doing the first method, wait until they go 3 years old and start selling them, you're actually making less than just putting in S&P and don't do anything at all. And this is so much easier, right? Just invest in S&P. Of course, you choose something that is the cheapest. They don't charge you a very high rate. This is so much better and so much easier, rather than having to work, find things, keep it in your shelves, and then you have to find someone to sell them 3 years later or 2 years later, whatever it is. And even this one, 50% from year 4 onwards, if we don't include the the outlier of Evolving Sky and Team Up. Let's say if you are making 10.6%, and this is S&P is close to 10%, so you are only making about 0.7% more per year. So you got to ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this worth the work you have to put in to do it? So I think this is the reason when I was thinking about the video that I did earlier about this, it looks very rosy, it looks very nice, but is the only reason is because I could get the boxes at a pretty reasonable price. Some of you will be able to get it even better than me, especially if you have distributor access. But if you don't, the box prices that I have, let me just show you here, below, it's definitely below MSRP, even in Singapore. Journey Together, Destiny Rival, I could get them below MSRP, even right now, because I know people, I know the suppliers, even though the volume at the moment, I couldn't get it at a very high volume like what we could get last year. But still, I was able to get some boxes under MSRP. So I will just be patient, even though I may not be able to get, 2 or 3 cases really for each of these products. But if my entry price is good, I'm fine with that, because I know in the long run, I will be able to make, better than with whatever money I put in S&P. The other reason is really, how long do you think this very, very high and expensive market is going to last? This is the other consideration I didn't put in. Many PokeTuber is also talking about, the bull market coming to an end soon, and there's going to be a time where everything is going to be very cheap again. Everybody is dumping their product on the market. Is it going to happen? Maybe. When is it going to happen? Nobody knows. So this is also something that we have to, pay attention to, even for investor. So what I was actually doing right now is that I'm actually buying less as compared to what I what I did last year. So from here you can see, last year I was really going quite heavy, even with temporal forces, surging sparks. But right now, two things happened. First one, even if I want to, I couldn't get it at a very good price for Journey Together and Destiny Rival. The supply is there, but the price is just too high for as an investment, a long-term investment. So it doesn't make sense. So I'm holding, back a little bit on this. But when the price comes back into a good level, reasonable level, then I will probably get more. If not, I'm okay to miss out on some of that as well. So I'll just wait for the next opportunity. Because if you are looking in the long game, this is what I'm looking at. I do not want this, because if the return is like this, I might as well just put it in S&P, which I have. Yeah, so I told you earlier, I'm debt free. I have a stable, decent paying job, and I also have my other investment. In Singapore, we have, the saving accounts we call it the CPF, which is, governed by the government, is taking care of. It's going to take care of you when you retire and things like that. So I have money there as well, and I have some other investment in S&P 500. So this is just part of my investment, part of my money. So I'm not really looking to do this, because if I'm doing this, then I might as well just put more into S&P. It's safer and much less work, a lot easier than doing what we are doing here, buying, keeping, and selling. I hope this gives you a better idea of, and also comparing getting into the market at a good price, or buying in at a very expensive price. There are PokéTuber who say that actually, yeah, I know the price is expensive now, but about 1 year later, 2 years later, do you think the price will be lower than now or higher? Of course, the chance is very likely the price is going to be higher than even the price now, but you must also think about how much higher are we talking about? Because if it's not much higher than whatever price you're paying right now, then does it make sense to hold the products and buy it at the current price? Or does it make much more sense to wait for it to drop, or wait for the market to cool down, and then you spend your money to get in at a much lower price, even though you may have to skip one or two sets, one or two series? It doesn't really matter, because a box is a box. It's just a name to the box. We have no idea which one will do better, which one may do worse in the long run. But if you're not thinking about it emotionally, if you're just thinking about buying a few things and put them away, so then the name doesn't really matter. And when you get in, also doesn't matter as much as the price you get in at. That's more important. Yes, so that's what I wanted to share in this video. I hope it gives you some idea. Again, reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my opinion. This is what I thought about, and I thought I should share them so that you don't just jump into it without having any information or any idea at all. You think everything will do very well. I mean, this still looks good. I mean, it's still positive. At least it doesn't show that you are losing money, but there are easier way to make money. Like just putting it into S&P and wait for it to go up. So I think I hope it gives you a clearer perspective. If you have any question, please put them in the comment, and I'll try to reply to you as soon as I can. See you in the next one.